Jane, I was wondering when you'd show up. I've got the latest scoop on the victor's spoils, that of our many-faced fiend that has set his sights on. Have you visited the Colosseum of late? There's a tourney in the works, and it's looking to be a big one. The Mithril Cup, sponsored by none other than Amalgina and Sons Mineral Concern. They say that Master Fairgeis... Fairgeis? They say that Master Fairgeis will be furnishing the prizes himself from his personal collection. Small wonder it's captured the attention of Mr. Sticky Fingers. You are familiar with the concern, yes? It's only the latest mining interest in the Sultanate after all. The chairman, Master Fairgeis, sits on the syndicate and possesses such wealth that rumor has it he could buy half the realm if he chose to. He's also renowned for being something of a martial arts enthusiast. With his position affording him little opportunity to test his own skills, he settles for living vicariously through the exploits of others. Hence his sponsorship of tournaments like the Mithril Cup. My colleague, Ganelon, is in Uldar covering the tourney as we speak. If we were to track him down, I bet he'd be able to give us something to get our investigation started. Wow. Inspector's log. With my plan to out the thief at Miss Arabella's wedding proving a rousing success, we were this close to defending the treasure from the clutches of the many-faced fiend. But even the best-laid plans of the Inspector Extraordinaire are wont to go awry, and our phantom quarry successfully absconded with the so-called maiden's virtue. With no rest for the weary agent of inquiry, I have ventured into the Colosseum to begin my preliminary search of the environs. This time, I swear on the Mandeville name, the phantom thief shall meet his match. Yes, I'm a busy man. If you're looking for small talk, I suggest you look elsewhere. No need to be rude, Ganelon. She's a friend of mine. Now, what would you say to share your latest findings with us? I promise I'll make it worth your while. Ellie! Well, if it isn't the Mithril Eye Star Reporter, come to have a laugh at Ganelon's expense before returning to the pen to your latest front-page feature, eh? Oh, very well. Just promise you'll put in a good word with me at the higher-ups, okay? Now, let me tell you this. There's strange things afoot in the Colosseum. Bugger all. It's a travesty, I tell you. Hotch? Hereway? Hamo? Whatever is the matter? And where, pray tell, is Hutchin? The four of you will compete for the cup together, yes? I fear that an unfortunate mishap has left Hutchin in no condition to fight. We were just on our way to convey the dire news to our dour meadow. Mishap, my horse! This was sabotage! Some bloody coward out there will stop at nothing to eliminate his competition. I swear it on my sublicar. Lower my voice. Lower your voice, Hatch. My head stings enough without your bloody shouting. Urchin, should you not be resting your wounds? Oh, but forgive your incompetent, unworthy comrade. If I had been quicker with my mantra, we would still be 4 men strong. Do not berate yourself so, Hamo. In victory and in defeat, the Montravilles fight as one. You bear no more responsibility for my wounds than I. Any road, I dare say I'll not be getting back into fighting Fettle by arsing around in bed. I'm ready to chant some mantras. How about the lot of you? Hutchin! For you I'm always ready. Now that's what I like to hear. 1,000 mantras, and I want each one to ring out over the Sagoli. The Montrevilles. As Hutchin tells it, they took their name from a training partner they met at the Fist of Roger, a man they most admired for his devotion and chiseled physique. Consider me not the least bit interested. This talk of attacks on the competitors, however, of this I would hear more. Ah, yes. I mentioned that strange things were afoot, yes? With mere days left before the Mithril Cup, a staggering number of would-be combatants have withdrawn, citing a host of curious ailments and injuries. With the list of entrants shrinking by the day, the organizers have been forced to abandon their elimination format in favor of a mass melee between what few battlers remain. A Phantom Thief's challenge. Gladiators keep dropping like flies. No, this is no mere coincidence. I would speak to the individual in charge of the event. Where might I find him? Oh, though the concern sponsors the tourney, the day-to-day organizational duties are being handled by a fellow named Dower Meadow. He should be in his office within the Colosseum's halls. I'll send word to the gateman, Yuyubaya. He owes the Mithril Eye a favor, too. Oh, splendid. Come, Jane. We've got a case to crack. We're gonna have to start reusing voices. We're meeting too many people here, guys. From the Mithril Eye, you say? Well, then, by all means, you're free to enter. Great. I am Ellie, the reporter for the Mithril Eye, never blinking or seeing. You know the deal, yes? And you must be the Dower Meadow. I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about the upcoming tourney.
Oh, who am I to argue with free publicity? And from a charming little thing like yourself. Ask away, me girl. That said, between the challenge that this so-called Phantom Thief and now these bizarre attacks targeting the fighters, our tourney's already the talk of the town. Not that you'll see me complaining, provided someone's still left to fight, that is. You're free to investigate as you wish, but you'd be smart to exercise some caution. Needless to say, recent events have everyone a bit on edge. Why, just a moment ago, one fighter almost took off another's head for insulting the color of his sublet. Looks like we've got ourselves another, These two aren't in the entry books.
Oh, and our challenger unleashes a vicious right hook as the gentleman inspector was channeling his strength for his next attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Inspector Bryadine, as efficient as ever, I see.
True, gentlemen. Shoes violence. Inspector.
You were thinking it annoyed me. Dower Meadow, I presume. Tell me everything you can about the prizes for this tourney, and try to be brief.
Was wondering when you might ask. Master Firegeist, whatever the hell his name is, has spared no expense in making the Mithril Cup the most lucrative tourney this Colosseum's ever seen. The victor will receive a true treasure from his collection, the Warden's Grace, a ring fitted with the largest sun sphere you'll find outside a Khan. The second and third place prizes are nothing to sneeze at, neither. But I don't care how many faces he's got, we've got nothing to fear from this thief. The concern has hired an elite regiment of stone torches to watch over the vault all day and night.
Yes, just as the brass blades were so successful in stopping the thief last time. If you want your treasure safe, then go fetch them and bring them to me. And be quick about it, I haven't all day.
Oh, fear I can't do that, Inspector. After all, what proof do I have that you ain't the Mr. Many Faces in another one of his elaborate get-ups? No, if you want to get your hands on the spoils, you'll have to claim them as any other would, in battle. As a matter of fact, what with the ranks thinned as they are, we're actively recruiting new competitors. The more the merrier, the more lucrative at that. Now, where did our receptionist get off to? Over here, you slimy bugger. We've got some flesh blood for the melee.
Give me a moment, will ya? I've only got 8 arms, or were they legs? You called? I was just about to give the lovely Miss Sevilla the grand tour. Inspector Hildibrand, look! He's purple! Astute as ever, Nashu. This color, this overabundance of appendages. I smell a case.
That's just my receptionist, Ultras. Don't be startled now. He's an ugly little bugger, and he's friendly enough. Word has it that he's one of the many bizarre creatures born from a recent experiment with an ancient incantations at the Thaumaturge's Guild. They were going to seal him away in a hole in the desert with the others, and he opened his slobbering mouth and started pleading for his life. I just want to live in peace. I'll do anything. So the management hired him to perform odd jobs about the Colosseum.
And I am ever glad they did. I tell ya, this job ain't glamorous, but it sure has its perks. What a delicious morsel. I want to get my tentacles around her. I know not who you are or where you hail from, and I do not care. If you dare challenge me, my Tempest Blade will show you no mercy. You can forget about your case, Inspector. There is only one who will claim the victor's spoils, and that is me. Oh, I just love it when she talks tough. Now, who is the chump who wanted to get a pummeling by my lovely little Avi? Oh, a gentleman takes far more pride in rescuing fair damsels than fighting them. I fear we have little recourse. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall do what must be done to... Jane Doe will be entering the tournament on my behalf. Huh?
Jane Doe? You do look like a doe. Well, bugger me with a spear. To think I'd seen the day when a warrior of light stood in my Colosseum. Hear that clink, clink, clinking? That's the sound of gil pouring into our coffers when the public finds out that a true Eorzean hero will be stepping into the ring to fight for the Mithril Cup. Oh, and I reckon your friend can tag along too. Show him where to sign, Ulti.
With Jane, I suppose we have as good a chance as any. Now we just need to make sure that she doesn't come down with some curious injury. That Gladiatrix, Avelia, was it? Seemed quite certain of her chances of victory. Suspiciously certain, I would say. Ha ha! I'm already 10 steps ahead of you, Inspector. That Ultros fellow seemed most knowledgeable about Miss Sevilla. Come, Nashu, the investigation is afoot. As much as that sounds like an amazingly productive line of investigation, might I suggest that our first priority is to keep Jania safe? Let us return to Ganelon and see what else he can tell us of these mysterious attacks on these combatants. Very well. I shall leave that task to you. I have a lead of my own to investigate. Should you uncover any new information, I trust you will share it with me at the first opportunity. Doesn't look far. Looks like it's just right outside. What's going on last minute? It is like back to back to back to back cutscenes. So for people that are concerned about this, that are willing to just like hit skip on all these cutscenes, you go through this really, really fast. I suppose that our questioning of Mr. Ultros can wait. Let us see if this Ganelon fellow can enlighten us. You again. I already told you that... What? Into the tourney, you say? Are you out of your bleeding mind? Look, I've got a suspicion or two, which I'm happy to share with you, but in the end, you have to protect yourself, you hear? So I've been asking around, and it seems that more than a few of the fighters who pulled out of the tourney were scheduled to fight a warrioress by the name of Avila. Now, I can't make any promises, but my instincts tell me this girl is bad news. But don't take it from me when you can hear it from someone who's crossbladed with her just days ago. Fellow by the name of the Raging Rat had the misfortune of being matched up with Avila in the preliminary round, earned himself a right bruising from it all. Last I heard, he was resting up back at the Pugilist Guild. Why don't you pay him a visit? Alright.
Come now, have a good laugh at old Raging Rat sixpence, have ya? Well, you're not the first. I say, is there not a man in this entire realm with an ounce of sympathy?
Greetings, good sir. How fortunate you are today that your guest is Hildibrand Mandeville, gentleman and inspector. Now, if you would please enlighten me on how exactly it was that you were beaten to a bloody pulp by Miss Avila.
Gentlemen, my ass, have you not a whit of delicacy? Never you mind. Look, the records may say I lost, but I'll admit to nothing of the sort. I'll shout at the top of my lungs if no one else will. The girl doesn't fight fair. Tempest Blade, some kind of foul sorcery, if you ask me. Mark my words, that girl is up to no good. If she weren't so damned easy on the eyes, she'd be rotting in jail as we speak. The girl's all a Megan, or haven't you heard? You know how it is, those refugees. They fight with honor when... well, why fight with honor when you've got nothing to lose?
Yes, and why not disparage an entire people in a pathetic attempt to salvage your sorry pride? This one's a real piece of work, Jane. Let us be on our way.
I didn't mean no offense, miss. Just tell it like it is, as it were.
Oh, perhaps it is truly some manner of sorcery, as the fellow says. Or perhaps she's working with an accomplice. She didn't strike me as the magic-wielding type. If I were a betting woman, I'd put my gill on the latter. Ah, Miss Ellie, the thrill of the case has struck a chord with you as well, yes. I can see it in the wrinkles beneath your eyes. We might very well make an inspectus. Oh, what would the word be for a female inspector? Have you yet? Ha 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 ha! I'll give you a good wrinkle, you insensitive boar. If what the man says is true, it's likely that her fellow Alamegans might sympathize with her plight. An accomplice would hardly be out of the question. question.
Yes, I can see it now. Two unfortunate souls, shunned by those around them, united by destiny and a common desire for justice. Ample appendages whirling wildly, sending gusts of wind flying every which way, a villa in Ulti, a match made in the heavens were it any more obvious. I could have solved this case without leaving my home.
Incredible. Your powers of deduction never fail to amaze, Inspector. What is it that you do in that infernal octopus?
Mr. Ultras should still be at the Colosseum. Let us hurry before he slithers back off to whencever he came.
Very well. Raging Rat, farewell. Jane, we should follow them.